In today's news, we are potentially just 3 days away now from making history. History in America, history for the crypto space, and even history for XRP, as with the elections looming ever closer, the closer we are to the reforming of the SEC, the issuance of XRP ETFs, and regulatory frameworks that could result, and most likely will result, in a Bitcoin breakout. In this video, not just we have confirmation that XRP ETFs will likely be approved soon after the elections, but we also have Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse here issue a Black Swan warning. Pay very close attention to this interview.
The last slide we'll put up has manifested interestingly. You look at the left side of this chart and it shows how many companies in the internet space are US based and US value accretion, and then the right side is kind of in the crypto space. And it's kind of not surprising, if we, as you and I have talked about, the earliest days of the internet, the regulatory clarity was created through the 1996 Telecommunications Act. And so investors flowed in, entrepreneurs flowed in. That hasn't yet happened in the United States as it relates to crypto, hopefully soon. But maybe this will change. I'm hopeful, and I agree it could be a Black Swan event.
Now for me, this is very daunting, but a very likely future. Call me crazy or a conspiracy theorist, but based on sources I've read and looked through detailing the current situation and condition of our economy and what institutions and the government have said about it, it wouldn't surprise me if a Black Swan was orchestrated in order for America to remain on top, or better still, to catch back up after crypto has taken off and they have fallen far behind. A crisis situation that will allow for the implementation of CBDCs to the general public. This Black Swan, in my opinion and from what I've seen, will likely surround the collapse of the banking sector, as Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen here issued her warning to the American Bank Association on Bloomberg that there is a massive crisis within the banking sector right now, and it is worsening.
We have been hearing loud and clear from the banking community that the burdens of compliance have become quite extraordinary. I think one principle that's helpful is tailoring, trying to make sure that the complexity and severity of the regulations fit the footprint of the activities of banks of different sizes and complexity. But there are so many areas that are important, to my mind, no longer being directly a bank regulator, but worrying about financial stability and the strength of the economy, knowing how important it is to have a healthy banking system in order to have a healthy and resilient economy. I guess my predilection is very much toward robust capital liquidity to make sure that we do have a banking system that can support the economy, that's safe and sound.
This is where we will likely see the collapse of banks, of fiat, and the rise of crypto stablecoins and government-controlled CBDCs. This is why I count myself quite lucky, to be honest, to be part of the less than 5% of the population right now that are actually invested into crypto, and especially with XRP, as Ripple are the ones building this internet of value right now. The RLUSD Ripple stablecoin is gearing up to be the likely stablecoin of choice for America, for the American government, alongside XRP, both of those two which will be the digital asset of choice to push CBDCs worldwide. And with the elections just 3 days away and the FOMC meeting shortly afterwards, just 2 days after that, we would likely see an explosive rally with crypto and Bitcoin happening early next week, which is why I created a free to join Discord server. 430 of us over that are working towards achieving financial freedom, spreading our knowledge in order to become rich in this bull cycle. If you want to know more, then click the link in the description below, because with the imminent re-elections, the reforming of the SEC seems inevitable. And it's not just me, that's not just my opinion right here. As we can see here from XRP Jobs, we have Ripple partner hashtags commenting of the potential for both a Solana and XRP ETF, the fact that both benefit from open regulatory regimes, and that this is why the market have been backing Trump to win the election, so we can see regulatory frameworks and therefore these two ETFs launched, and they're both their value skyrocket.
Four assets for other assets beyond Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has a very, very clear regulatory regime in the US already. But when you look at Ether, they have some clarity. Now there are ETFs, but when you go to Solana, XRP, and all the other assets, there's a big uncertainty right now. So I think that they tend to benefit the most from an open regulatory regime for crypto, and that's what markets are betting for Trump. If Trump is elected, then we might have a regulatory regime. But what we believe is that the most important thing is look at the Congress. So how the Congress is going to be composed in this next cycle, okay? Yes. And how this Congress to look into regulation. That's the big important topic to look in the coming weeks.
Now, once more, this is very, very British news to me, but there's 3 important things to note regarding this whole situation you need to pay attention to. One is this news here. Xrp has just had another ETF finding, which is huge news from Cathie Wood's 21 shares this time round, making it now 4 for Xrp, Bitwise, Canary Capital, Grayscale, and 21 shares. This is a sign that Wall Street is also betting on the imminent regulatory frameworks being implemented, on XRP winning the lawsuit, and Gary Gensler being forced to resign, and the SEC being reformed. The other important thing to note is that the market right now seems to be correcting, partially because the election race is now much closer than people thought. A few days back, the crypto community was adamant and in awe that Trump will massively landslide and beat Kamala Harris, and now it's more hopeful than belief that he will win, as multiple celebrities have now publicly endorsed Kamala Harris, and the polls went from 25% in Trump's favour to now looking like only 6%, so it's much closer. But at the end of the day, and this being my final point, regardless of who wins the election, crypto will take off. It may be quicker if Trump was to win, but it will happen nonetheless, as Bloomberg Crypto here posted and reported here in an interview with Brad Garlinghouse, Coinbase's CLO, and more, that crypto has a very influential role within the US election spending.
I'm optimistic about is we're going to see a change. We're going to see a reset. And I think we need that at the federal level. No matter where this plays out at the presidential level, we'll have a more constructive engagement with this industry.
In order for fintech to become mainstreamed across almost any realm, whether or not it be AI, whether or not it be crypto, is that fintech has to be able to make its case.
Giving voice to the concerns of those voters and of those Americans, that unless we adopt rules for crypto here in the United States, crypto will take off, but it will take off in other countries and other parts of the world that will leave us behind. Provide regulatory clarity and some degree of consistency rather than simply lawsuits and endless court litigation.
Gary Gensler's reign of terror on the crypto industry is going to come to an end very soon.
The Harris campaign, like the Trump campaign, understands that 52 million Americans want to see crypto in their future, and that it's critically important that any new administration address those concerns.
The good news about the United States is that the markets do tend to adjust. The bad news is that the predictions that are in play right now could skew the market expectations over the next few weeks.
And we can see a small summary of some of this investing, of this endorsing, if you will, from Fox Business journalist Elena Terrett here, ranging from hundreds of thousands to multiple millions of dollars being endorsed to political candidates, both Trump and Kamala Harris here. Ultimately, this will be one of the most important weeks of our life, in our opinion, for the crypto investors. The FOMC meeting again happening on November 7th, just 2 days after the elections. Crypto right now is at a boiling point, and the switch is about to be flipped. And this post here is another testament to that belief. Stripe recently bought stablecoin platform Bridge for $1.1 billion, which is the largest purchase to date in this space. And what do you know? Back in April this year, Stripe started accepting payments in XRP. Once more, this is why I hold XRP and why I believe that it will soar in value, soar to the moon in the years to come. But of course, do your own research, better still. Come chill, chat, and learn much more in the free Discord server. Again, the link is below, but don't look short term, think long term, and I'll see you in the next one.